Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Chair Yoga. Today, our focus is going to be back body kinds of awareness. So we're going to strengthen the back, do a lot of things that help strengthen our back, but also bringing our breath awareness to the back side of the lungs, just having this kind of acknowledgement, when you think about it, when we think of ourselves, we visualize ourselves, we experience ourselves, it's pretty much from the front forward. We think, I know for myself, when I'm doing breath work, I'm visualizing my front part of my the chest cavity and the expansion of the lungs, in the front body. So it just as a balancing, balancing our awareness, balancing our acknowledgement and our appreciation for our body. We're going to shift to the back side and really work on strengthening the back. When we have a nice, strong back, it seems to make us feel better all over. I know that goes for loosened hips as well, but let's just say that it's a worthwhile effort. So today's focus is on the back body and all the ways that we can acknowledge that. So let's start by using the block behind your back. So I want you to put it on its high side and rest into that. So lean back into that block, if you will. Scoot yourself back so you can feel how that is supporting you. So it'll initiate this whole back body practice today by, putting that block back there. And as soon as you get situated, you feel like it's propped up properly and you got your feet to the floor, then close your eyes so you can begin the transition. You can officially welcome this transitional time where you're changing gears, bringing yourself into the discipline of the yoga practice, that you're going to kind of shut out the interferences, if you will, just the kinds of things that in your household could take your mind away from what you're doing, that you're going to choose to be fully present to this experience here on the chair. And take some cleansing breaths so that you can restart your awareness of your breath in a powerful way, a cleansing breath, and we acknowledge it that way. Big inhale through the nose and let that exhale come out with a sound. The sound is important, the vibrational tone in our body. I wish I could give it its due in terms of that kind of awareness and acknowledgement as we practice our yoga, but I do my best to introduce it every now and then, but it's really potent. It's just, trust me on that. It's very potent when we bring this awareness of vibrational tone into the body. So that sound is important. And so the block serves as a way to encourage or support a back bend. We're going to do a few of those today. And a back bend translates as a heart opener. So it's always, in my view, it's always a great idea to bring ourselves into the awareness of the heart. So as you transition now, maybe you're setting your intention, knowing, what's going to be happening in terms of the body today. In this particular class, I'm going to be doing some things with the back of the legs, back of not only, just the whole back body, but nonetheless. And just see how that fits with you in terms of your particular needs. See if you can identify that and kind of cooperate with that in any way. Assign value, your own personal assignment of value to that. And then palms are open on our lap as a gesture, that mudra of receptivity, open to receive the benefits and blessings of this practice. And though our focus in the body is the back body, strengthening, supporting, acknowledging, even breathing, we're not going to ignore the rest of the body. We're going to just kind of see how the rest of the body interacts with this focus. Full breath in, full breath out. Remember, when you need to modify, we all have that. We all find that there's certain things we modify, we do a little bit differently because of our particular needs in our body. Remember to just incorporate your fullness of breath, that you're making your modification, and what you could bring with it is a full breath in and a full breath out. And that's your particular brand of good yoga. One more full breath in and out. We'll flutter the eyes open. Let's take that block back now to our knees. So come forward on your chair. So now the block is in between your knees and you're squeezing that just enough to hold it there, not so much so that it causes any sort of cramping, but you feel the engagement of your midline, your central channel. It just brings us into the awareness of that. So let's get our arms alongside the frame of the chair, and we're going to move through the arms, lifting up and down. And of course, this is a nice way to sort of lubricate the shoulder joints. That's all good. But I want you to really pay attention to how moving your arms up and down is a stretch in the back. And if you're, if it's too subtle for you, like I guess I'm trusting that there is some stretch in the back, but I can't feel it that much. See if you can expand, your range of movement, that those arms come up and back as far as you can do it, and down and also back as far as you can do it, to see if that doesn't improve your awareness of the movement through your back and the stretching that's going on. So settle yourself into the chair, give yourself some balance in the pelvis. And so if you can't balance your pelvis while your arms are moving, get yourself situated. That's important. Balance right to left, get yourself really centered in the pelvic structure there, as we begin to acknowledge the back body. Full breath comes in, full breath goes out as often as you can remember to do it. We're going to lift and hold, push your feet to the floor now. Get some action where you really feel the strength of your whole body helping you lift up your arms. And your arms are extended with no bend in the elbow and as close to your head as you can do. Now I want you to bring awareness to the shoulder blades. Can you let the shoulder blades drop any amount? You're allowing them to just sort of find their place of right alignment in the back body. Can you direct now, and you might have to close your eyes because it's a different focus. Can you direct your breath? So when you're taking that big hearty inhale, you can feel the expansion, or you're acknowledging the expansion in the back part of your lungs, not the front, the back body. And when you exhale, just let that exhale release however you can imagine it, however you visualize it. But use your inhale as intentionally to sort of puff up, if you want to call it that, puff up the backside of the lungs. One more breath like that. Let's get those eyes open again, and we're going to find ourselves in the goddess shape. So I've got my arms in a bent elbow, palms facing forward. We're in that goddess position. Now, choose how you got your hands, would you? Don't hold your hands without your awareness. Let me put it that way. So either you're open, you choose to stretch your fingers apart and you're holding them like that. Maybe you put those mitten hands on, but however it is, bring awareness to your hands so it feels very intentional to you. The intentionality of these movements is like a big deal in terms of staying true to the moment at hand, staying in the now. So be intentional as often as you can, all right? So elbows are going to open, pull back and close them up as we move through this open and close position. Now, something that came to my awareness in a class I attended was this. Sometimes you can't bring your elbows and forearms together. So as an alternative, I'm just showing it from the side, you could sort of give yourself a hug. So if that fits your body better, that when you're coming into the closed position, maybe you're just sort of bringing your arms to close in and give yourself a hug. So open and close, elbows to forearms if that's available to you. Choose something else if that's a better fit. Inhale opens, pull back, exhale closes. So you're feeling the movement of the shoulder blades. Pay attention to that. Let's open and hold that. So you've got your elbows bent, and then I just want you to drop the hands down. Notice how your shoulder blades, or maybe in the neck, I think that's more prominent in my awareness. The neck has to have a little adjustment. Try not to tuck, how we just sort of duck in there so we can hold our arms. Let your head be positioned neutrally so it's not making all sorts of compensation for this position of the arms. And then when we release this, go super slow so you can feel the shift in your whole body as your arms come back alongside. Pull back now. We're coming into the traditional cow pose. So we're pulling back, arching through the back body, chest is forward. Arch, arch, arch. Push your feet to the floor. Give that block a little squeeze. Find this as the inhale and the exhale. And can you just shift your breath awareness? Can you just see if you can find your breath moving through your back? And for a while, it'll probably feel like imagination. You're making it up. But I think, yeah, I really trust that after a bit, you are acknowledging that you are aware of the backside of the lungs. That's actually has shifted for you. That's a good pattern for the body. Now we've got that arched back. We can feel it. We can come into it very easily. Let's just rest our hands on our lap and pull the belly in as you round the back body into that C-shaped curve. Remember, your shoulders have to be right above your hips. I see this a lot in the classes I do. People will somehow move forward when they're doing this. They bring themselves forward to kind of hunch over. Don't do that. Keep your shoulders right over your hips and just see what kind of movement, just by moving the vertebrae, pulling your belly in, all of that to find the C-shaped curve. Don't bring yourself forward of your hips. Keep your shoulders stacked on top of your hips. Bring that breath awareness to the back. See if you can feel your shoulder blades now because they're pulling apart. They're separating. Here we go. Let's do this vinyasa. Inhaling up, exhaling, rounding. Imagine that you're pumping. So this is such a common pose. This movement is just like, it can get a little boring. I'll give you that. But it's very important and it's very useful every single time. So that's why it's used so often. See if you can just imagine now that you're pumping. You're going to draw the energy that pools in your pelvis. And this movement of the spine is pulling that up, like literally getting that energy that's housed in your pelvis and bringing it up into the chest cavity and distributing it through your limbs. So pump for me. Beautiful. Come back to our neutral position, and I want you to move through the movement of the arms. No movement of the spine now. Stretch your back by lifting your arms up. Push your feet to the floor. Lift up. See where you feel it. I can feel that in my low back. My maybe my sensitivities, the low back is what I'm really feeling that stretch. Next time you have your arms up in the air, let's take our right hand and grab hold of our left wrist. And then pull over. Let your arm just stretch past your ear and pull over. Now squeeze the block so it keeps your pelvis in its neutral and balanced position. Soften the neck, find your breath. Now we're in, the armpit chest. You can imagine that. You can picture what I'm talking about. Sink into that armpit. Sink into that armpit. Let's come back up. Lift up, hold. We're going to switch hands. Over to the other side, right past your ear. Squeeze the block. Keep your pelvis situated. Pay attention to how your neck feels. We've got that heavy head we're moving around here. Back to the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of your body, the rhythm of your breath. Armpit, chest. Deepen that armpit. Sometimes, imagine some of you are laughing when I say this, I over talk, no kidding. Sometimes I over talk. So when I say deepen into that armpit, I'm just going to believe you're going to know what you're doing there. Let's come back up. We're going to take a backstroke to come out of that. Another one, inhale up. Exhale, go way back there. And then I want you to shrug and release. Shrug and release. This gets that trapezius muscle. Now let's pick it up. So you're shrugging and releasing quickly. Hands could be on your lap. If you're finding this kind of heavy in the arms, put your hands on your lap. That'll remedy that, I'll bet. Shrug, release. Relax, get your hands on your lap. Take a moment to reset your body if there's any adjustments you need to make. And we're going to do a breath practice. You know what? I'm going to grab a Kleenex. I know for sure I'm going to need one. You might too, because I'm going to ask you to breathe in and out through your nose, through your nostrils. So if you need a Kleenex, kind of handy, you might want to do it. Hands are going to come to the shoulders like this. We create our little wings. And it really goes this particular way. Inhale to your left. Inhale as you're turning towards your left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Through the nose. So it goes. You're going to let your arms just carry you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale left. Exhale is right. Turning your head is optional. You can turn your whole head so it's looking on those various ways, or you can keep it nice and steady looking forward. Either way is fine, but the breath work is the deal. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Feel that in your back? Loosening it up. We're loosening up. And it's warming up your body big time with that fast breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You got it. One more, in and out, and come back to center and release your arms all the way down. Up and down we go. Slow it way down. Maybe your breath is like, whoo, I kind of got to catch up. I got to reset. You just work that right into your practice. You do what you need to do. Full, move your arms through the full range of motion. And we're coming back to the goddess position. So our elbows are bent, open and close. Either open and bring elbows and forearms together, or give yourself that hug. And come back now, if you will. You got to lose the block. We're losing the block. Put it underneath your chair, if you would. And bring your feet just a little bit further apart. I want us to move through the sides of our abdominal wall. So let's just get our elbows to drop as far down the side as possible. Carry your head along, so you're not straining. Just allow your head to move with your body. Find that rhythm of breath. We're going to crisscross. So as soon as you're ready, and maybe you have to bring your knees closer together, introduce the crisscross, bringing opposite elbow to that opposite knee. And just to remind you, that's by design, not only because it gives us a twisting action, so that waistline, the whole abdominals kind of benefits from that, but because of this right side, left side of the brain, that when we cross over and make our right hand do something on the left side, and our left, we cross that line. That's so good for a healthy functioning brain. So we're just going to keep implementing that, because we know how beneficial it is for our overall well-being. Let's bring our left elbow to our knee and hold that left elbow to that across knee. And then release that other hand and bring it way back behind you. Just release it back and then just soften. So you've just planted your elbow and you're finding this nice twist where your shoulder has dropped toward the middle. Turn your head accordingly. Wrap that back arm behind you. Maybe you're pressing the back of your hand into your back body. Maybe you're holding onto your chair. Deepen the breath. Feel the twists and turns in the back. We acknowledge the twist and turn of our body when we do these twists all the time. But can you really focus on how's it feel in your back when you're doing a twist like this? Breathe into the part where it needs it. You know, there's resistance in your body, for example. You're going to breathe right into that area that seems kind of intense. That's it. Now, when we come back out, let's go back to the hands at the shoulders here and back to just crisscrossing as kind of a way to reset. But we're going to land the other way. So you want to land the opposite way that you just did. Get that elbow down. The back hand is going to wrap around behind you. Elbow down, shoulder now is dropping into the midline. Turn your head. Like notice where your ear is facing. So that's how you're turning your head. Breathe in, breathe out. Find that rhythm. Breathe into the back body. Feeling the back body. One more time, breathing in and out. And let's come back up. Let's come back up and make any kind of adjustments you might need to make. Let's get our feet in line with our hips now. I mean, bringing your legs within hips distance apart. So we're centering ourselves. Let's hold on to the chair and just lift up. Lift those legs up. Start with just, foot comes up, knees bent. You're just going to start it off doing your marching in place at the pace that works for you. But work toward lifting your foot more, that you're trying to lift your foot. So you start warming up to that. I keep needing a Kleenex here. That's it. Let's get that left leg up and straighten it out. Bend it and bring it down. We'll just lift up, straighten it out, bend and bring it back down. Just keep alternating your legs. And if you are wanting to give yourself more challenge, don't hold on to the chair. Instead, maybe bring your hands to your waist and let your core strength support this movement. Just one option for you to consider. Bent knee, straight leg, bent knee, back to the ground. Both feet to the floor, reset your body. If there's any kind of movement your body needs, let's get it reset. Catch up with your breathing. Take a big hearty breath. If you found you kind of lost your way with that strong breath. And then we're going to get the arms in motion now to coordinate with those legs. It's just going to be a straight leg out. So straight leg out, hands are going to touch that. Somewhere on your leg, making contact. Inhale, lengthen that spine. So as you lift up, notice the lengthening of the spine. Keep yourself focused so your legs, the movement is all within the frame of the chair. Don't go wide of that. Very invigorating, up and down, lengthening the spine. Straight leg out. Last time, touch on each leg. Back up we go. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's scoop up our left leg. Get a hold of the underside of your leg. Let's move through the ankle. So one thing you could introduce for yourself. Remember how we practiced that the heaviness of the leg becomes our weight bearing and it gives us more strength in the arms. If you surrender the weight of your leg into your arms while you're doing this, you're doing a little something for your biceps. Now let's just count that as good enough for the ankle. And now we can hold our leg the same way as we just let the lower leg circle around. And this is good for your knee joint. This movement, this lateral movement through the knee joint is not a common movement that we do on a daily basis, I'm saying. So we want to introduce that. I change direction. If it's time for you to do it, change direction yourself. Through the knee. This has gotten better over time for me. How about you? This has gotten easier over time. Like, oh, I got this down now, this movement through the knee joint. I'm going to give you a couple options to move into your hip. One is that you cross your leg, kind of get your hand onto your heel and get your leg propped up like that, and you start moving your hip. I got some feedback from a student who has some sciatic problems, and this was really painful to get her hike her leg up like that. So an alternate, in case that movement through your hip is uncomfortable, you just can't really do it, try the movement like we've done before, where you're just taking this big step. So you're not hiking your leg up so much. So the butt might be happier, but you're still moving through the hip joint. So you choose how to move through your hip here. This whole practice, what's the intention of what we're doing here, is lubricating joints. So we're into the hip. And now let's just everybody join in where we take a big step out and we bring that leg all the way to cross over. Take a big step out from center and bring it all the way over to cross. One more time. And back to neutral. Any reset your body might need, here's the time to do it. Catch up with your breath. We're going to scoop up the other leg, get a hold of that now. Let's start with the ankle. Heavy up your leg. Let your arm do the work. Why not? Let's deepen the breath. And once we've kind of gone different directions and we feel like we've worked that out, let's just quit the movement of the foot and move into the knee, letting that lower leg circle around. Pull in your belly, keep your spine long and strong. Change the direction when you're ready, but do change the direction at least once. So now we've done the knee, got the ankle, we got the knee. Let's move into the hip. So your choice, how you want to do that. If you want to hike up your leg and start moving it around, great. If that is not comfortable for you, you've got an alternative. See if this doesn't. And maybe you're not going to cross over. Maybe you're just got some movement like this that works better for you. So you choose. We all have the same intention. We're moving through our hip joint. We're loosening up. See if you can keep yourself upright. Don't cave in. We want our back body to stay long and strong. Changing how you're holding your foot, flexed foot, softened toes. That makes a difference in how you feel it in your body. You might want to explore that a little bit. Now let's everybody join in where we take a big step out and cross over. Maybe you hold on to the chair to help with that. Your choice how to do it. Hold on to the chair works great to keep stable. Last time. Bring it over, both feet to the floor. Let's open up our legs into that wider angle. We're going to work the perineum. So I want you to find that half lift. So we're going to kind of fold down, bend those elbows, squeeze them in. So your body is in a diagonal line. Feel the pressure into your feet and into your legs. Hold your spine in a diagonal position, nice and strong. And now we're going to lift ourselves off the chair. Our pelvic floor is going to come lifting off of the chair. At least it feels like it is. We're going to do it several times. So inhale, lift and hold. Exhale, soften to release. Inhale, lift and hold. I want you to really notice the inner thighs, how when you lift to hold, they're engaged. And in noticing it will make it even stronger for you. I love how that works. Awareness in the body translates into more benefit to the body. O shape of the mouth, just reminding you that breath work that is true to the vagal tone. It gives us some nurturing, if you will, of the vagus nerve just by creating that O shape while you're taking your inhale. So for those of you who like it, don't forget to introduce that to this practice of toning our perineum. Inhale. Remember to exhale completely. I know we get in a hurry, so remember to exhale completely. Strengthening the perineum, such a good thing. Now let's stay with it. See if you can lift and hold, and extend your arms away from center. Now, try not to reach your shoulder blades. See how I'm moving my shoulder blades? Try to keep your shoulders, your bone, arm bone plugged into the shoulder. And so the movement is the trunk. Your arms aren't pulling you away from center. It's, you're just keeping them elevated at right while they're plugged into the shoulder socket. Keep moving yourself into your feet and into your legs. You can feel how your body weight shifts. Now stabilize the low back by pressing your sit bones into the chair. Press the sit bones down. Great. And then come all the way up. Hold that. Palms are facing each other. I got this side view. I hope you didn't change. You don't need to. I just want to make sure you could see what's happening here. Catch up with your breath. Let's do that again. Remember, plug those arm bones into the socket. And so the movement is the trunk of the body. Stabilize your low back by pressing the sit bones. So it's like you're trying to press into your butt into the chair. Feet to the floor, nice and strong. Now this time, instead of lifting up, we're going to fold forward. So I want you to just release yourself all the way down, Let your hands come to the floor. Look underneath the chair. Make a game of it. See if you can hang so low in that space between your legs that you can see underneath you. You're going to look at the floorboard back there. You're going to see what's behind you. You're going to make a little game of it. Look down and underneath yourself so you can relax yourself into it. Keep relaxing yourself into it. Big, full breaths, belly breaths. And feel the movement of your breathing. Feel your body moving as you breathe. Eyes stay open. 2 more breaths. Can you grab your block? Grab your block. And when you come up, you've got the block in your hand, right in between your legs. Lift your head up. Let this be our pause, our reset of the body. We're sort of in a half lift. We're in a half lift, not sort of. So we've got our back body in its diagonal line. Push your feet to the floor. Now see if you can create a dome of your back. See if you can create a dome between your shoulder blades. Any amount that you're just creating some kind of fullness through the back that you could imagine is dome shaped. Now let's try that, moving that off center. So just pick a side, move that block off center and see if you can recreate the dome. Balance through your pelvis. We've shifted our weight over here, so we got to really plug down onto that other side so it stays put, so the pelvis is effectively balanced because of our efforting and our awareness over there. Dome. It's like, let's just translate dome into strong, like a really strong posture for the back. We got to go to the other side, so take a little pause in between and then move yourself off center, other side. Balance your pelvis. Let's start with that. Dome the back. Soften the face. Don't need tension in your neck. Deepen the breath. So it feels just appropriate. You got, a lot of musculature turned on. You're holding yourself in a particular way. It's a strong pose, but you don't need to grit your teeth. So you're trying to soften where you can. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Let's tuck that block underneath, make our way up, all the way up, all the way up. Inhale with me. Exhale down. I'm going to just start moving my legs closer together here. We're within the frame of the chair again. Every time we stretch, we can feel it in our back. Close your eyes now. Bring palms together overhead. Close your eyes. Feel how your back body feels. Breathe through the whole length of your back body. Soften your neck. Let's take our inhale together, eyes closed. Exhale, bow to your heart. Really drop your chin. Inhale, back up. Exhale, as we open our eyes, we're taking that big circle and releasing all of that all the way around. Grab hold of your chair now and rock yourself back and forth so that you can come up out of the chair. I guess you don't need to hold onto the chair much, do you? And we're just going to rock and roll ourselves to a standing position. So come on up. When you're ready, we'll meet standing up. I'm not sure that we're going to need the block again, so I'm kind of keeping it tucked under. So find your mountain pose. Make sure your feet are straight. Your belly's pulled in, but there's some buoyancy of the knees. You don't want to lock your knees. Let's get our arms alongside our body, palms face forward. We're going to close the eyes again. This time, though, our breath is really focused in the back. So see if you can draw the inhale and the exhale through the backside. Our full body experience of breath, we're all real practiced at that, being able to lengthen our breathing as it moves through our whole body. But let's see if we can focus the movement through the backside of the body exclusively. Pull that breath up through the heels, up through the back of the legs, and up into the back of the spine. Keep your eyes closed. It'll help you focus. You'll be able to imagine it better. Just imagine that the lungs, all this time through our practice thus far, have been doing their expanding as they always do. But they're doing, now that it's also expanding through the back side of those lungs. So that's how thorough it is. One more full breath, full body breath. Exhale it out. Open your eyes again. And let's try our stretch where we take one hand and grab the wrist. And we bend over. One hand grabs the wrist, so one arm is really straightened right past the ear. You're turning your head in a way that feels comfortable. I like my ear and my arm to match up. And see if you can do this without waggling the hips. The hips stay neutral. They stay steady and strong. The upper body, that's what's doing the bend. Armpit, chest, I want you to deepen into that armpit. That upper arm is deepening. Let's come back up. We'll switch sides. Stable in the hips. Press your feet to the floor. It's a side bend. It's the upper body. Armpit, chest, deepen the armpit. Support your neck. Breathing in and out, finding even the rhythm of your breath. Maybe the noise of your breath. Let's come back up and take our big stroke to come out of that as well. Interlace your hands behind your back. Get the buoyancy of your knees. Pull your knuckles back. Now that's the shoulder blade back there, isn't it? Feel that. Got to have a lot of buoyancy here. because we're going to fold forward. I want you to bring your chest and belly down towards your knees. Let your knuckles reach up toward the ceiling. Eyes open, look down and underneath yourself, knuckles reaching to the ceiling as best you can. Breathe into the back body. 2 breaths like that. Stay low, stay in your fold, but release your arms like ragdoll arms. Bring your hands to your shins. You're below your knees. You're going to come up halfway, create an L shape, half lift. Tuck that chin in towards your throat. Feel the length of your spine right here in this L shape. This is a great opportunity to straighten your legs out. See if you can straighten so there's not any bend in your knee, or as little bend as you can do. It's a good chance to do it right here. Back of the head, neck, spine. You can feel the alignment. Get strong with your belly to support that. You could imagine now that you got a block between your thighs, because those inner thigh muscles would be really good to turn on right now. Let's fold again, fold all the way down like a rag doll. And this time bend your knees quite a lot, and we're going to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, so keep your head low. Roll up 1 vertebrae at a time to come to standing. Take a moment now to adjust from that inversion. Just wait it out. Turn your chair so the back side is near you. Instead of the seat of the chair, you've flipped it around so the back side of the chair is there. And we're going to do a little tricky step in here, some step work. It kind of crosses right, left a little bit. It's just some nice step work. We're going to try to keep our gaze forward, but let's just practice a little bit. We're going to take a step forward with the leg that's close to the chair. The standing leg is going to step forward, and then the other leg is going to follow with a knee with a knee lift. So that's how it works. It's a step, a knee lift, come on back, bring them together, step, knee lift. See if you can find that. You've got the chair right there. If you can wean yourself from the use of the chair, I encourage that. Maybe you find a focal point. You're looking out and finding your balance, stepping. So the knee that lifts is the outside leg. Your standing leg is kind of staying close to the ground. Now we're going to meet with that knee lifted. So take your step, lift your knee, hold it there. Take the opposite arm and reach it up. So outside knee, you want your hand that's closest to the chair, if you can, to reach up. High knee. Now make a fist of that hand. See what you can do here. We're going to see if we can bring that elbow to the knee. Back up we go, both feet to the floor, palms come up and all the way down. Let's turn the other way. So we're going to step with the leg that's closest to the chair, step, high knee with the other leg. You know, how big your steps are, it's up to you, how you want to do that. Using the chair or not, both are good. Just depends on what you need. Keep your gaze out. Maybe you find a focal point. Let's step and hold. So step and hold that knee up and see if you can do it with the opposite hand. I know we're losing the chair. So maybe you're going to say, nope, I have to hold the chair. Yep. So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to have the same side arm and the same side leg up. That's just what's going to work best for me. Making a fist of that hand that's up in the air. We're going to bring that knee toward our elbow toward the knee. I just thought of this one. I'm holding on to my leg. That's a lot steadier. And come back up. Both hands reach up. Exhale all the way down. Good. Let's move our chair now so we can use it for a couple of our bends, our nice stretches. Let's get our hands on the back of the chair and move into the L shape. Pull your belly in, pull that front part of your waistline toward the back part of your waistline. See if you can narrow that space. Remember, your legs are holding you up, not the chair. So you get strong with the back of your legs. Press your heels into the floor, then your toes. I want you to bring your awareness into the Achilles tendon, into the calves of your leg, into the back of your knees, into your hamstrings. Let's do that again. Press into the floor, your heels down, and then the toes. You can feel the Achilles part of your heel, into the calves, back of your knees, into the hamstrings. Pull the hips and buttocks back. Lengthen the spine. We're going to walk toward the chair. Right foot is going to step forward. Bend into that right knee. Square yourself so your hips are shining right toward the chair. Let's bring palms together at the heart. Elbows pressing away from center. Nice and steady. Feel both feet to the floor. Now let's lift up, separate your hands. This is a nice little back bend. So we're bringing awareness back to the back of the body. As you pull your arms back, you're in a back bend and you're opening your heart at the same time. Hands come back to the chair. We're going to stretch out into that L shape because we want to do the other side. So stretch it out. Heels, Achilles, calf, back of the knees, hamstrings. Big breath in and out. Press the feet, heels, Achilles part of the heel, then calves, back of the knees, hamstrings. Pull your buttocks back, lengthen the spine. Feel the breath, full breath in and out. We start walking toward the chair, left foot forward now, other leg, bend the knee. Both feet are flat to the floor. Release your hands from the chair, bring your palms together right at the heart. Press so your elbows are pushing away from each other. Inhale up, separating your hands. Another back bend opportunity. Pull those hands back. I got mitten hands on. Full breath in, full breath out. Beautiful. Let's get hands back to the chair. Step forward now. Let's shake our legs out. I want you to turn your chair so you've got the seat of the chair available to you. Let's do downward dog. Palms come to the chair. Start walking back. The same distance you have between your hands is between your feet. Kind of match that up. I like arms as close to the head as possible, so that helps me figure out where to put my hands. Remember, your legs are holding you up. It's not the chair that's holding you up. So you don't need to push into the chair. Press your toes to the floor. Can you feel that differently? Pressing your toes down, can you feel that differently in your legs? Tuck your chin in towards your throat. Deepen the breath. Soften the face. Let's start walking toward the chair. Hold on to the chair, separate your feet, wider with your feet, so that it supports you in your squat. So you're going to let your pelvis drop right down as low as you can. Now, if this hurts your knees, don't do a squat. If it hurts your knees, just skip it. But if you can pull your body weight back, so you feel it in the hips, you feel it in your thighs, that's the movement. The knees are kind of like incidental. That's what you're really looking for. So if it just doesn't function that way for you, skip the squat. Can you lengthen your spine? Can you come into a squat? Hold on to the chair, but lift your head up so you're upright with your body as much as possible. Let's come back all the way up, all the way up. to standing. Let's find our mountain pose. Palms face forward, eyes are going to close. We're going to breathe through the length of the body, through the back side of the body. As we let our body settle down and start making our adjustment, our transition, we're going to start moving towards Shavasana here in a minute. Let the body find its breath. Let the body find its breath on the back side. Good. Open your eyes now. Let's move through that lifting of the arms. Now feel that as a full body stretch and come down. Full body stretch. Feel your back. Feel even in the back of the legs. Grabbing a wrist. Side bend to pull it across your head. Neutralize your pelvis. Come back up. Switch. All the way up, and release all the way down. Any movement your body needs as you start to make your way into Shavasana. Maybe there's one more down dog in you that you would like to try. All those kinds of things. This is your opportunity to make this your own. Scoot back into the chair, of course. You want to have all the support you can get. Depending on where you are and what kind of weather you're enjoying today, you might want to grab a jacket now or a cover, put your shawl on, a blanket. Maybe you like to elevate your legs. So take your time, set it up, be ritualistic about it. I'm a big fan of ritual, so I just think it makes things sacred. I encourage you to do a body scan for yourself. And once you settle in, maybe you start with your breath, that you go back into the awareness of the breath so you feel the rhythm of it. And it feels like all you are is the breath. The breath just has taken over your awareness. Your experience of your body is almost exclusively through the breath. Start with that and get really immersed in that. And maybe that is going to be just all you need to do. And another thing, if you're looking for something else, if just like what else, would be answering the call of your body, your particulars. Let's say your low back is always kind of chronically fussy. So you bring your awareness there. Just loving, tender loving care. Or your shoulders or wherever it might be in your body. But along with this immersion in your breath and the rhythm of that in your body, you also include the special part of your body that needs a little more love, a little more attention. And then let the space, not only the surface beneath you, but the whole space, the room that you're in, hold you. Can you imagine the space that surrounds you being a source of benevolence? I'm going to read from this book, Journey to the Heart. I just chose a reading. It's not today's reading. It's called Heal Yourself. I think that's what it speaks so much to me about what yoga does, what yoga is for us. It helps us to heal ourselves. Here's the reading. Infuse healing energy into yourself, into your being. For too long, we've been attracted to things that drain us, exhausting our body, depleting our soul. That time has passed. The world is a spa, a nature retreat, a wealth of healing resources. Pour Epsom salts and essential oils into your bath. Sit quietly by a tree or in a garden. Walk around the block in your neighborhood. Spend an afternoon in a nearby park or a day at the lake or beach. Throw stones into the river while you sit on the bank contemplating the eternal stream of life. Allow beautiful music to quietly imbue the stillness with healing instead of the pounding of your mind. Light a fire and awaken that darkened hearth to glowing flames and soothing warmth. Rise from your bed early in the morning. Open the curtains. Watch the sunrise. Feel the sunrise. Let it infuse you with its message. Let it energize you, invigorate you, fill you with life. At day's end, return to the window or step outside. Watch the sun set. Absorb its changing colors spreading out beyond the horizon. Feel how it changes the earth and all it touches. Pet a puppy, stroke a piece of velvet, listen to a symphony. If you can't slow down long enough to absorb the energy the first time, do it a second and a third. Absorb revitalizing energy until you can hear your voice, hear your heart tell you what would feel good, what would bring peace, what would bring stillness and joy. Before long, doing what brings healing and joy will become as natural as it used to be to do what drains, tires, depletes, and exhausts. It isn't enough to draw near to the light. Absorb it into you. Let it charge you and change you with its energy and its power. Healing is all around you, wherever you are, whatever your resources, healing, energy, and joy are there. Feel that rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of your body. Sometimes that's all we need, isn't it? To just return to our natural rhythm. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with a sigh. Make the sound. Ah. Ah. Let's start introducing movement back into the body. So maybe you got to get your feet back to the floor. I want you to scoot forward if you're on the chair so that you can bring yourself back into alignment of the spine. Any movement of the head and neck you might need before you finish up. Don't forget, the neck might need your awareness just like everything else. Let's sync up our breath one last time. Inhale with me. Palms will come together overhead. Exhale, let's bow to ourselves at the heart. Inhale back up. Exhale, let's share this beautiful healing energy with our community. Palms come together at the heart. We bring ourselves to this prayer position. We bow to ourselves. We bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me.